Alrighty, guys, I'm so excited to talk to you about leadership. We've got 6 topics we're going to be delving into. The first one, guys, is self-discipline, and it's so important as a business owner, as a successful entrepreneur, to be really disciplined. So we can look at leadership, and hypocritical leadership is just an absolute horrible thing, guys. It's the person that says, do as I say, not as I do, or should I say behaves like that. So it's really important that you realize, are you firstly one of those people, or do you know one of those people, or have you met one of those people in the past? How did that make you feel? All right, because I sure know when I met that person, or when I was once that person, I didn't even realize it within myself, but when I saw it and I looked in the mirror and really realized that I was telling people to do things that I wouldn't even do myself, it made me feel horrible. And when people will say it and do it today, it just makes me feel so upset and so frustrated that they can't take action as a leader and get in the trenches or do the work, whatever needs to be done, and be that leader rather than telling other people to do it themselves. So a great example of that, guys, is an overweight personal trainer, someone who's carrying extra kilograms and knows exactly what to do, tells their clients what to do all day, but won't go do it themselves. All right. So the first thing I want you to think about with self-discipline is make sure with your leadership, if you tell someone to do something, you know that you would do it as well. You know that you would put in that effort. So if you're going to tell some of your staff to go hand out flyers and have conversations with people on the street, you've got to be a leader and you've got to show them how to do that. And you've got to prove to them that you're the first one to do that. Doesn't mean you need to do it every week, but they need to know that you've done it, that you've been in the trenches and you've shown them the way. So that is the first thing I want you to think about with self-discipline, hypocritical leadership. Now, guys, when you're looking at discipline, when you're looking at leadership, you want to think, are you an imposter within yourself? It is a brutal realization if you're telling people to do something and you're not doing it yourself, or if you're not living the life that you want to live. Are you not aligned with your true self? Are you so ill-disciplined that you will overindulge in alcohol, that you'll overindulge in fast food, that you can't live within a budget? Your spending habits are way too high. Are you gambling away your money? Are you gossiping and talking about other people? Have a real red hard look at yourself and realize, are you an imposter? Okay, because when you really truly align yourself with leadership and realize that you are the person that you want to be, and that you're always going to be evolving, that is when you become self-disciplined, and that's when you get the absolute best results. So the first thing you really got to think about after you think about your own leadership skills and ability is, are you aligned with what you're doing? Now, for me, guys, I needed realignment. I'm sure at every point in someone's life, they need some form of realignment. It's hard to be always aligned with your values, your goals, and your lifestyle habits. So for me, guys, I was forced to realign, okay? I came to a point in my life where I was sick of blaming other people. There wasn't enough leads in my gym. I just started my facility in this tiny room, and we weren't going very well. And it was like the holy shit moment in my life. When the business was failing, I had to sell my car. I was drinking heavily on the weekends. I was binge eating fast food on the weekends. Then I was starving myself during the week, and I was training like maybe 25 to 30 hours of clients. In between that, I would take naps in the middle of the day. I wouldn't do any self-development. I wouldn't do any marketing. And I was pretty much keeping my business afloat by just being like friendly to my clients. Still lying to them because I wasn't aligned with my journey. I'd be like, hey, don't drink alcohol. Or I'd be like, only have one cheat meal a week, when I was like overindulging all weekend. So I really needed to realign. And it was just this point in my life where it came to it where I was like, all right, I've sold my car. I now drive a scooter. My business is on the brink. Like, I should go do some self-development. And I remember first getting started and reading some books, and it was just this like aha moment. And you sort of come to this realization that you're not who you say you are, because you tell everyone you're this fit, healthy personal trainer who's going to change the world, and you're not doing any of it. So for me, guys, I then just absolutely love self-development, and I completely realigned. So I went from being made of excuses to absolutely having no excuses, and realizing that everything that happens in my life, I have complete control over, and it's, I have to take ownership for it. So whatever it is, if it's an end of a relationship, if it's a client canceling, whatever it is, you can't blame them. You've got to look internally at yourself and see how you can improve the situation. I went from a failing business owner who had to sell his car and was absolutely shit scared to, within 4 years, to building a business that turns over $3 million in revenue to then having, a marketing company, which was pretty much driven off the success of the gyms and people asking for help. So I started a marketing company where I could help people alongside with my awesome business partner who is an absolute weapon at marketing. And then we have our private coaching clients, so people who would just hire us to give them advice. And then I've got online people that want help that might live interstate or overseas within fitness and just coach them too. So within the space of 3 or 4 years, all these things happen, and it was purely from realigning myself with who I really wanted to be. Now, guys, when you look at self-discipline, we want to look at, mindset is the first thing you guys want to think about. You got to have a strong mind, okay? You're going to be learning new things. You always have to test yourself. You can never be complacent and be in this phase of like, oh, I'm happy where I'm at. It's like, okay, you're happy where you're at. Are you going to be happy in a year if you're exactly the same? No. So you need to put yourself out of your comfort zone and you need to continue to learn and grow as a person. The next thing, guys, so simple, your physical health and your mental health. So making sure that you're training, making sure that you're doing what you tell other people to do, making sure that you have strong mental health, and if you feel like you need help, not being afraid to reach out for help. And the other thing, guys, is make sure you do practice self-care, whether it's getting a massage, whether it's talking to a psychologist, whether it's doing mobility, whether it's going for a walk on the beach, whatever it is for you, making sure you practice that, okay? For me, it's getting out in the open fresh air, it's going for a surf or going for a run or going for a walk. And the last thing, guys, is complete self-discipline within business, okay? So being the leader that you've always wanted to be, realigning who you are, and doing what you say you're going to do. Because if you dominate in your self-discipline, in your mindset, your physical and mental health, and your business, you are going to be absolutely unstoppable. Guys, that is the first leadership video. I hope you enjoyed it and got a lot out of it.